Hi, my name is Alina Ochoa, and this is my language and cultural contact. These are the activities I use for the contact hours. I watched a documentary on Frida Kahlo that was in Spanish on YouTube. I also watched La Cocina de Carla and Despierta America, which was also on YouTube. So that one was 30 minutes. The Frida Kahlo was 30 minutes. And then I also read 2 articles on Eat Right Pro website for an hour, and these were both in Spanish. And then I watched Puertas a Mais Allá, a TV show on Hulu, for 2 hours. For the Frida Kahlo documentary, I found a lot of very difficult terminology. I had to pause and Google a lot of the words most of the time, a lot of phrases that I didn't know. So there was plenty to choose from. But a couple ones I really liked were costillas rotas, which means broken ribs, and dislocados y aplazados means dislocated and crushed. And then there was a phrase I really liked, only because it explained how Frida remembers the bus accident that she went through. It says, nos botó hacia adelante y a mí la pasamanos me atravesó como la espalda un toro. Means it threw us forward, and to me, the handrails pierced me like the back of the bull. So that's what happened when she hit the bus or the tram. And then nuances that I noticed was that the Mexican culture is very expressive through art, and that it's very family emphasized. Everyone was always willing to help Frida out. Her family was willing to support her and take care of her and encourage her to pursue her passion. I learned infertility is also a very serious issue. Since they're so family oriented, it was devastating for Frida to be infertile and not be able to have kids. So that was hard for her, but she was able to show her passion through art, and they're also very passionate about love. They're very close-knit, touchy-feely. Even how they greet each other was very close. They're close to their friends, and I feel like in the US it's completely different, where we're not as close or as touchy-feely as they are. And meal gatherings are social events. This is something that's also, I don't see it as much in the US. I feel everyone's kind of distant when they eat meals, and then in Mexico it was everyone eats meals all together all the time. So when Frida was in the accident, it was kind of hard for her to be separated from the family in that sense. So the next one I watched was La Cocina de Carla, Despierta America. A couple terminology words I found were mostly related to baking, like mezclar, which means to mix, or el platillo favorito, which means favorite dish, grados, which means degrees. And some nuances I noticed were that their Despierta America is kind of like the Good Morning America show. However, they're completely different in personality. This Despierta America was more boisterous in personality, sassy, and then the host Carla was very flirty with her guests. She was also very lighthearted, and I feel like in the American shows they're a little bit more serious, and it feels more forced. Like they're not always happy, they're forcing the happiness. But in this show it seemed like very natural. And I also noticed that dancing was a big part of the culture, which is not the same in the US. They don't dance on Good Morning America, but in this show they did. And another one I read was Eat Right Pro. This is where I read 2 articles. They were available in English and Spanish, but I read the Spanish one and noticed a couple phrases that I'd like to use in my future as a dietitian. So saludables means healthy. Buena alimentación y el peso saludable means good food and healthy weight. Bajos en calorías means low in calories. So I feel like these are good terms I can use in my future. And the nuances I noticed was that there was an emphasis on family health and an emphasis on family weight, but I feel like that's the same in the US. Like everyone, that's why they have an English and a Spanish version, because everyone wants the same thing, family health and healthy weight. So another TV show I watched was Puertas a Más Allá, which means Gates to the Afterlife. It was more of a spooky TV show. And it was also kind of hard to keep up with. They talked a little faster, and it was a lot more translating I had to do with it. But I found a couple of phrases that are great for Halloween, like Espíritu Maligno, which means evil spirit, Pesadilla, which means nightmare. I also liked Sensaciones Extrañas, which means strange sensations. So nuances I noticed in this one were that religion was a big part of it. In the background of the TV shows, you could see that there was a Virgin Mary everywhere. And that's also something I noticed in my own family in Mexico. My grandma will have little statues of the Virgin Mary or paintings all over the house. And then another nuance was superstition. They were very superstitious, and there was also a big emphasis on family. Like there was always family helping each other out during this time while they were being scared of the ghost. But yeah, and this is my slideshow. Thanks.